Good evening, everyone. It is 5 p.m. I call the public meeting to order. I want to thank everyone who is joining this evening. If you want to make a public comment on the items listed under the closed session agenda, please listen carefully to the directions provided by the clerk. Ms. Raridan.
Public hearing for visitors who wish to address the board on closed session items. 15 minutes of this portion of the meeting are reserved for members of the public to address the board on closed session items. Speakers seeking to comment on other items are requested to make those comments during the public comment portion of the meeting at 6:30. Speakers are limited to 3 minutes. The school board is prohibited by law from taking action on matters discussed that are not on the agenda, and no adverse conclusions should be drawn if the school board does not respond to public comment at this time. If you wish to address the board on an item included in this section of the agenda, please step up to the podium and state your name and city of residence. If you are joining us remotely and would like to make a public comment, click on the reactions icon located at the bottom of your screen. In the reactions window, click on the raise hand button and wait for your name to be called. We will allow speakers from the audience to address the board in the order they approach the podium or appear on our screen. President Cyber, we do not have any participants who wish to speak at this time.
Okay. Thank you. Seeing or hearing none, I close public hearing and I adjourn to closed session to discuss items 1A through 1D. The board will reconvene at the conclusion of closed session. Rugen. Good evening, everyone. It is 6:56 p.m. and I call this regular meeting to order. Welcome to tonight's board meeting. I want to welcome the media and everyone joining in person and by Zoom. We ask those joining this evening to please silence your electronic devices not linked to this meeting. If you'd like to make a public comment, please listen carefully to the directions provided by the clerk at the opening of each public comment period. Superintendent Lyle.
President Cyber, Clerk Mendoza, members of the board and staff and public, I'd like to remind us all of our vision and our mission. Our vision states that Mid-Air Unified will set the standard for hard work, creativity, and resiliency with a fearless drive to continuously improve. And our mission states that we're committed to creating and sustaining a culture, enabling Mid-Air Unified students to experience an unparalleled educational journey that is intellectually, socially, and personally transformative. That's the business this evening, sir.
Thank you, Superintendent Lyle. Item number 3, roll call. Mrs. Raridan, please call roll.
Trustee Castillo.
Here.
Trustee Ahmad.
Here.
Trustee Cortez.
Here.
Trustee Divert.
Here.
Trustee Fleek.
Here.
Trustee Salazar.
Here.
Clerk Mendoza.
Here.
President Seibert.
Here.
President Seibert, all are present.
Thank you. Trustee Fleek, would you please lead us in a flag salute?
Yes.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Trustee Fleek. Tonight's scheduled invocation will be provided by Reverend Tate, a Mount Lions Mount Zion Missionary Baptist Church of Madera. I invite Reverend Tate to the podium.
Better? I'm Reverend Tate from Mount Zion Missionary Baptist Church. I've been sent by Reverend Neely to pray for you guys. So let us pray. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you, Lord, for allowing us to come together as a whole. Father, we ask you to just continuously bless the peoples here that's trying to put order in the order. Lord, we need you to show up, Father God, and help us to do the thing that's right in your eyesight, Father God. We ask you to give them traveling grace, that the ones who come from afar, we ask you to let no weapons form prosper over us and over the children and over the school, Father God. We ask you to look down on the nation and bless it as we go through these troubled times, Father God. We need you right now to show up. Father, we just say thank you for allowing us to have this kind of conversation with one another to fix whatever problem may arise. Father, we just ask you to continuously to bless us. In your Son, Jesus' name, we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend Tate. Closed session reportable items. Okay, where am I at? Okay, Superintendent Lally. you got
Yep,
the
we
report.
actually do. We have two this evening, sir. By a vote of 7-0, the board approved the settlement of a special education dispute in the matter of Student versus School District OAH, case number 20250-60803. And by a vote of 7-0, the board approved settlement of a special education dispute in the matter of Student versus School District versus versus School District OAH, case number 20250-80812. Thank you.
Thank you, Superintendent Lyle. Also, I have to report out, the governing board is pleased to announce with a positive evaluation that we have extended the Superintendent Lyle's contract for another 3 years, and there is no salary adjustment made to the superintendent's contract at this time. Okay, item number 5, adoption of the agenda. Mrs. Reardon.
Action to add or delete items from any portion of the agenda or to discuss any consent agenda items must be taken prior to the adoption of the agenda.
Okay, Superintendent Lyle, does staff have items to add or remove from the agenda?
Not this evening, sir.
Okay, thank you, Superintendent Lyle. Trustee, do you have items to add or delete from the agenda? Okay, it has been, Trustee, do I have a motion and a second to adopt the agenda as presented? Please state your name when you make the motion and second the motion.
President Seibert, I so move to approve the agenda.
Trustee Dybert, I second.
It be moved by Trustee Salazar and seconded by Trustee Dybert to adopt the agenda as presented. Ms. Reardon, please pull the board for the record.
Trustee Castillo,
Yes.
Trustee Ahmad,
Yes.
Trustee Cortez,
Yes.
Trustee Dybert,
Yes.
Trustee Flake,
Yes.
Trustee Salazar,
Yes.
Clerk Mendoza,
Yes.
President Seibert.
Yes.
President Seibert, I counted 8 ayes, 0 nays, 0 abstentions, 0 absent, and 1 vote was preferential.
Okay, thank you. Item number 6, communications. Item number 6A1, student and staff recognition, the Madera minutes. Superintendent Lyle.
So President Seibert, Clerk Mendoza, members of the board and public, this is the time when we get a chance to see our Madera minutes, some really fun highlights of all the great things happening across the district.
Another round of applause for all those who
Welcome to this week's edition of Madera Minutes. We're kicking things off with a big dose of stallion spirit. Madera South High School brought the energy for homecoming week with a lively rally, parade, and varsity football game that lit up the stands. This year's theme, DreamWorks, turned the campus into a world of animated fun, featuring characters from Shrek to Shark Tale. During halftime, the traditional honorary staff walk took place, and we celebrated this year's homecoming royalty, Erica Reducendo Avalos, Amir Reyes, and Caitlin Garnica, with Mary Pietrowski honored as this year's Grand Marshal. Meanwhile, the Madera High Coyotes took a trip back in time with their homecoming theme, A Blast from the Past. The parade rolled through the streets with colorful floats, marching bands, and high-energy performances from schools across the district. That evening, the celebration continued as Malia Garcia and Javier Aguilar were crowned homecoming royalty, with Grand Marshal Eddie Murphy leading the festivities. From high school celebrations to safe travels to school, students from Madison and Alpha Elementary joined in on Walk, Bike, and Roll Day at Maple Court Park. They took part in fun safety activities before walking to school, escorted by our amazing partners from CHP, Madera Police, and the Fire Department. And speaking of teamwork, Madera Unified honored its incredible educators and staff at the annual Service with Pride event on October 23rd. Employees with 20 to 40 years of service and our newest retirees were recognized for their dedication and lasting impact on our students. At that same event, the Madera Linkage Foundation proudly announced the 2025 Student Champion Hall of Fame inductees, Grace Fuller and Cheryl Blackstone. Both retired MUSD employees, they were celebrated for their extraordinary contributions and the difference they've made in countless students' lives. And that's a wrap on this week's Madera Minutes, celebrating learning, building belonging, and living the spirit of We Believe.
Okay, thank you. Item number 6B, public hearing for visitors who wish to speak on a subject not on the board agenda. Mrs. Reardon?
15 minutes of this portion of the meeting are reserved for members of the public to address the board on items not listed on the agenda and within the jurisdiction of the school board. Speakers are limited to 3 minutes. If the subject is an item on the agenda, the board president has the option of asking the speaker to hold the comment until the item is called. Comments on items listed on the public hearing on the agenda should be held until the hearing is opened. The school board is prohibited by law from taking action on matters discussed that are not on the agenda, and no adverse conclusions should be drawn if the school board does not respond to public comment at this time. If you wish to address the board on an item not listed on the board agenda, please step up to the podium and state your name and city of residence. If you are joining us remotely and would like to make a public comment, click on the reactions icon located at the bottom of your screen. In the reactions window, click on raise hand button and wait for your name to be called. Speakers will be allowed to address the board in the order they approach the podium or appear on our screen.
Dr. Joe Vasquez, Madera, California. So thank you. Apologies, I'm going to speak really quickly. So good evening, respected board. My name is Dr. Joe Vasquez. Quick background professionally, I'm an assistant vice provost for enrollment management for the University of San Francisco. Academically, I'm a fourth-year law student here locally at the San Joaquin College of Law. Why I'm here today, my purpose is related to an educational law final assignment, which requires us as fourth-year students to choose a respective unified school district board forum and present to them hypothetical scenarios which are related to respective K through 12th educational law. Now again, these are hypothetical scenarios and they are related to potential recommendations we have for the board and the district based on a review of their respective board policies and website information. That being said, I'd like to preface by adding that in my opinion, this is one of the best managed boards and districts I've come across. I'm kind of biased because I was born and raised here in Madera within a migrant farm labor family and was actually raised right down the street. So just an FYI there. In addition to the three scenarios, we've been tasked with to discuss relevant California educational law to these respective scenarios and also as well as provide three recommendations based on findings. So hypo scenario one is where a school faces individuals claiming to be federal immigration agents in possession of what's called an administrative letter only, not necessarily a warrant, and who were granted access to a student's person without district or parental notification. During the incident, an administrator also searched the student's school-issued Chromebook for immigration documents, raising seriously procedural and privacy concerns. Relatedly, right after that scenario, after the incident, students organized a peaceful 20-minute walkout through an off-campus social media post sharing Know Your Rights information. In response, a principal suspended student and organizers removed their flyer from where they had posted it, while the teacher who shared similar materials off-duty received a district warning for political speech. I'm going to go ahead and skip past the relevant educational code here because I'm running out of time. But again, to reiterate, MUSD has existing board policies on the record, I'm sure as you all know. These are simply recommendations, expansions of communication campaigns, education campaigns related to reduce these types of liabilities. So you're doing a great job. Recommendation 1, develop Know Your Rights card or wallet laminates, create poster series for front office and public areas for ICE protocols, produce social media graphics with short video clips for school websites and different YouTube tutorials. Recommendation 2, we're out of time. Student free speech procedures, print things such as, quote, your free speech rights at school, posters for classrooms, bulletin boards, lunch areas, explaining rights versus legal rules. Create digital Instagram story templates for students showing, quote, what counts as a protected off-campus speech, what counts as a disruption. And I yield to my time. Thank you for your time.
I'm from Fresno, California, but I work here in Madera Unified. Good evening, members of the board. My name is Carolyn Lozano. I teach TK at Virginia Lee Rose and have been teaching TK for 15 years. I started TK in 2011. The TK program was being piloted through Fresno County Office of Ed. Before I taught TK, I taught kindergarten for 10 years. I have been teaching TK here in Madera for 11 and a half years. When TK first began, we had limited curriculum resources and relied heavily on adapting portions of the kindergarten program. In 2016, a curriculum was adopted, but it largely mirrored a preschool model rather than meeting the unique developmental and academic needs of TK students. With the guidance and collaborative spirit of leaders such as Janet Gross-Nicholas, Kathy Nino, and Heather Unger, we came together as a district team to build a program that truly served our students. Even during challenges of COVID, our educators, with the support of our site principals, took initiative to design a meaningful and effective home learning curriculum. 3 years ago, under the leadership of Tina Najarian, our program experienced renewed respect for teacher expertise and continued growth in alignment with district goals. However, recent shifts in early childhood education leadership have made open dialogue more challenging. The distinct role of TK is a critical bridge between preschool and kindergarten, as has not always been fully understood or valued. TK is not preschool. It is an integral part of the elementary school community and plays an essential role in preparing our students for academic, social, and emotional expectations of kindergarten and beyond. I share this history to underscore the importance of continued collaboration and thoughtful decision-making. As our district moves forward with universal TK implementation, it is vital that changes impacting instruction, such as proposed removal of Promethean boards, included in the voices of those working directly with our students. We remain deeply committed to partnering with you, transparency and advocacy to ensure TK receives the resources and respect it deserves, because our youngest learners deserve nothing less. Thank you for your continued support in helping grow our transitional kindergarten program here at Madera Unified.
Good evening. I live in Clovis, California, but work here in Madera. My name is Lynn Mitchell. This year marks my 25th year of teaching. I've taught second grade, fourth grade, and this year is my 5th year at TK, all at Berenda Elementary School. I'm here also representing the transitional kindergarten team. We're deeply concerned about the potential removal of Promethean boards from our classrooms. These boards are not just technology, they're essential instructional tools that make learning engaging, equitable, and developmentally appropriate for our youngest students. TK is the foundation of a child's education, and as we move forward toward full universal transitional kindergarten implementation, removing this tool would move us backward, not forward. Every day, our Promethean boards help students learn letters, numbers, and vocabulary, sing songs to embedded curriculum, participate in interactive lessons, and even share family photos during All About Me presentations. They help us manage routines, transitions, and communication with families. Removing them would disrupt instruction and take away opportunities for engagement and the joy in learning. We respectfully ask that the district continue to provide Promethean boards in all TK classrooms so our youngest learners can enjoy the same engaging, high-quality instruction as students in every grade level receive. We truly appreciate your ongoing support of the transitional kindergarten in Madera Unified and your willingness to listen to our concerns. Thank you.
I live in Chowchilla, California, but I work at Madera. Good evening, members of the board. My name is Nellie Goulart, and I teach transitional kindergarten at Virginia Lee Rose. I've had the joy of teaching TK here for the past 3 years, but I have been an early childhood educator for more than 30. This evening, I'm also speaking on behalf of our TK team. California's Education Code Section 4800D and the Preschool TK Learning Foundations call for instruction that is inclusive, engaging, and accessible. The Promethean Board directly supports these goals and reflects the universal design of learning principles, offering multiple means of engagement, representation, and expression. These boards allow TK students to see, hear, touch, and interact with lessons in ways that meet their developmental needs. Removing them would conflict with the intent of state guidance for TK classrooms and limit how we can effectively support diverse learners. Both the U.S. Department of Education and the National Association for the Education of Young Children, the nation's most respected accrediting body for early learning, emphasize that technology, when used intentionally, is a powerful tool for early education. It enhances relationships, expands access, and supports all learners, especially when guided by a teacher. In our classrooms, Promethean boards are not used for passive screen time. They're used intentionally and interactively to sing, move, draw, and build digital literacy. This approach aligns with developmentally appropriate practices and fosters active learning. TK teachers are also held to the same standards and evaluations as every other grade level. The California Standards for the Teaching Profession expect us to use technology to organize and present subject matter effectively. Having worked in education long enough to see policies, research, and expectations evolve, I know that progress often comes with embracing tools that challenge, inspire, and support student success. Collaborating with some of the most dedicated leaders in early childhood education continually reminds me that growth requires change, and that through ongoing research and reflection, our understanding of young children deepens. In doing so, we are not only nurturing today's learners, but shaping the curious, capable, and compassionate adults of tomorrow. Thank you for your continued support for transitional kindergarten and for considering our concerns. Your leadership plays a vital role in ensuring our youngest learners receive the strongest foundation they deserve.
Good evening, members of the board. I apologize for all of our scripts, but we're very comfortable talking, singing, and dancing, and not so much with adults, with children. So my name's Melinda Engelman. I reside in Madera. I teach TK at John Adams Elementary and have taught TK for 9 years. I have teaching experience in pre-K, kindergarten, and alternative ed and second grade. Over the years, I have been super blessed to be part of our TK team that has demonstrated exceptional collaboration, leadership, and dedication. By forming our own PLC, before the acronym, I think, came along, and collaborating across multiple sites. For many years, we've only been one class per site. We've proactively developed resources and strategies from the ground up to ensure our students have everything they need to be successful in kindergarten. We combine the understanding of developmental appropriateness with awareness of the rigor of kindergarten and beyond, positioning our youngest learners to be strong and confident. However, with recent changes in leadership, communication has been more oppositional and unreceptive. The expertise and input are not heard or valued, and in some cases, not even considered. As dedicated TK teachers, we strive to be recognized as professionals who constantly have our students' best interests at heart. Our input is vital in shaping instruction as we design lessons that are tailored to the unique needs of our youngest learners. When the district listens to teachers and includes us in the conversation, we can work together to give every child the best possible foundation for learning. We believe that there are some aspects of TK that would benefit from a closer look and review from our governing board members. Thank you so much for supporting TK. I know there's been a lot over the years, and we really do appreciate your care and concern and your kindness and commitment to our little list. So thank you. Would it be possible if I gave you a handout? Yes, who would I give it to? Right over there? Okay, thank you so much.
Buenas tardes, mi nombre es Dolores Gallegos y yo vivo aquí en Madera, California, y la razón que me trae aquí hoy es para hacerles saber a ustedes que yo y la comunidad de Madera estamos aquí para apoyar. ¿Perdón?
Do we have an interpreter?
Sí, ella va a hablarlo después que yo termine.
Consecutive, okay.
Since she wrote it down. So I told her it was fine. Is that okay? Adelante, mamá.
Continuamos entonces.
Sí, adelante.
Ok, una vez más, entonces, mi nombre es Dolores Gallegos. Vivo aquí en Madera y estoy aquí para hacerles saber que la comunidad y mi persona estamos apoyando al 100% a los maestros en las necesidades que están, ya de por sí les explicaron ellos, qué está pasando y qué necesitan en cada salón. El distrito nos ha dado a la comunidad y a los padres información no verídica de cómo se están distribuyendo los fondos para los programas de nuestros hijos. Necesitamos más maestros capacitados para los niños con necesidades especiales, asistentes de maestros. No necesitamos tanta administrador en el distrito. Necesitamos maestros y ayudantes. Necesitamos recursos en los salones. Necesitamos patólogos de habla. Necesitamos personas que realmente estén, ustedes contratar personas para ayudar a nuestros hijos en el aula. Porque acabo de estar en la junta con la maestra de mi nieta y me dice que no es suficiente 20 minutos al día que va una persona y se supone que está apoyándola en terapia de habla. Y mi nieta está realmente baja en sus grados. Y estoy aquí por lo mismo, apoyando a los maestros y que los escuchen a la comunidad, porque ustedes están sentados ahí porque la comunidad los pusimos ahí. Ustedes se deben a la comunidad. Gracias.
Good evening, members of the board, and to everyone present. My name is Samantha Borquez, and I will be the interpreter for Ms. Dolores' words. She had 3 points that she really wanted to make sure that were heard. So point number 1, she mentioned that you and the community stand behind all the hardworking teachers in the Madera district. Our children deserve the highest resources. Point number 2, why does the district give the public false information about the funds? And point number 3, the district should invest in our students by having professional staff in the classrooms. Having adequate additional staff in the schools will benefit our students' academic outcomes. Thank you for your time and attention.
Thank you. Okay, the 15 minutes is up. I close public comment. We'll move on to item number 7, Student Board Representative Report. I invite Juan Cervantes to present the Madera High School Student Board Representative Report.
Good evening, Board President Seibert, Board Clerk Mendoza, Board Trustees, Superintendent Lyle, and the Madera Unified Community. My name is Juan Cervantes, and I serve as the Executive ASB President at Madera South High School. And I am honored to share recent highlights from Madera South High School. These snapshots reflect our students' leadership, learning, and school pride. To begin with, next slide, please. To begin with is our girls wrestling program. Our girls wrestling team trained for 3 days with Stanford All-American Hunter Garvin. They also tackled a ropes course, zip line, and a paintball to build trust and resilience. They experienced strength, skills, character, and team chemistry ahead of the 2025-2026 season. Next slide, please. In September, we hosted a lunchtime resource fair to promote connection, hope, and access to hope. Community partners, peer counseling, ASB, and the nursing pathway collaborated with student music, a vibe wall, and support banners across campus. We normalize help seeking and reinforce that no one is alone and help is always there when needed. Next slide, please. Next is our HOSA program. HOSA raised funds to support NMDP families with travel and housing during bone marrow procedures. Students organized a blood drive with 44 donations, potentially saving up to 132 lives, and led a stress management activity at lunch. They also represented health scientists with spirit in the homecoming parade. Next slide, please. Next is our ROP video production pathway. Recently at Fresno CTE Expo, students captured highlights, edited on deadline, and produced a live broadcast hosted by Angel Manriquez and Adriana Guzman. The show streamed on YouTube and appeared on Chukchansi Park Jumbotron. The next day, they ran a multi-camera live production of Shrek the Musical, showcasing industry-ready skills. Next slide, please. Next is our education pathway. Our education pathway seniors explored degree and credential options across 3 campuses. They toured child development centers and makerspaces and spoke with faculty about coursework and cost. The visit turned big goals into clear, actionable next steps toward teaching careers. Next slide, please. Next is our girls golf program. Madera South captured the NYL League Championship in girls golf, the 3rd league title in school history. A special shout out is Belen Hernandez, who tied for 2nd in the tournament. This milestone reflects dedication, consistent play, and a strong coaching. Next slide, please. Next is our very own FFA program. FFA held their annual Ag Literacy Day where over 1,500 kindergarten and 1st grade students visited for hands-on agriculture lessons and more. FFA members led 4 interactive stations on crop, livestock, equipment, and safety. Each child was able to take home a pumpkin, connecting learning to a memorable experience. Next slide, please. Next is Hispanic Heritage Month. We celebrated Hispanic Heritage Month with local musicians on campus. Students also enjoyed traditional games that highlighted culture and community. The activities fostered pride, connection, and joyful learning. Next slide, please. Next is our academic decathlon program. Our academic decathlon students attended MCSOS lectures by Central Valley professors focused on the Roaring '20s. They deepened knowledge across history, art, literature, economics, and science. The day strengthened critical thinking and team cohesion for competition. Next slide, please. Next is our FBLA Leadership Development Institute. FBLA members spent a full day in hands-on workshops for communication, planning, and teamwork. They learned from business leaders and practiced presenting ideas under pressure. Students returned more confident and ready to lead in class and club activities. Next slide, please. Next is our very own Homecoming Week. Homecoming brought our community together through Spirit Days, a vibrant parade, and the game. Clubs and programs showcased creativity, leadership, and unity throughout the week. Students celebrated pride and strengthened campus culture. Over Homecoming Week, our homecoming was themed a DreamWorks Homecoming. Student nominees were mandated to attend DreamWorks-themed activities and events such as our very own Shrek the Musical play, where they attended to a sold-out show. Next slide, please. Next is our upcoming event in Stallion Country. This week, we are celebrating the Rodeo Bowl rivalry game with our crosstown fellow Madeirans, Torres High School. And on Friday, we are excited for our Alpha Elementary students to join us for our annual Boo Fest. Next slide, please. That is all. Thank you.
Thank you. Now I invite Cassandra Hernandez to present the Torres High School Student Board Representative Report.
Good evening, Madera Unified School District, Board President Seibert, Superintendent Lau, Clerk Mendoza, and members of the board. I'm Cassandra Hernandez here with the Toro Report. Next slide, please. Okay. In late October, our Torres High School community experienced the loss of one of our sophomore students, Rafael Barragan Donen. We dedicated our game against Fresno High to his memory and celebrated his life with a pregame ceremony that included skydivers from Bulldog Blitz and a moment of silence. During that time, we welcomed his family onto the field to present them with a memorial plaque. Following the game, we held a paper lantern and balloon release where students, staff, and families had the opportunity to write memories and send them into the sky. It was a challenging start to the year, but it was truly moving to see our community come together to support Rafa's family. Next slide, please. We closed our September with our 2025 homecoming festivities. This year's theme was Lights, Camera, THS. We kicked off the week by filming our first ever school-wide music video featuring students from various programs, athletic teams, and groups across campus, celebrating what makes Torres High School great. The final video turned out amazing thanks to our CTE Media Arts student under the direction of Mr. Anderson. Next slide, please. On Wednesday of homecoming week, we hosted our second annual homecoming parade through campus. The event featured clubs, organizations, sports teams, and even several of our feeder schools. We had the privilege of honoring Marcel McAllister, MUSD alumnus, and the owner of Fury Chicken for his generosity and ongoing support of our school community. That evening, we welcomed families for our homecoming community carnival featuring performances from our music programs and feeder schools, along with food trucks, games, and carnival booths from various student groups. Next slide, please. What's homecoming without a little class competition? Throughout the week, our classes participated in hallway decor, float design, class skit, and rally game competitions, showcasing both creativity and school spirit. I regret to inform you that the sophomore class of 2028 took home this year's overall homecoming title, but the seniors were a very close second. Next slide, please. We closed out the week with our annual homecoming game against Roosevelt. Although we didn't come away with the win, that night was still special with the pregame recognition of our Grand Marshal and Little Toro royalty, honoring one student from each Red Pyramid feeder school for outstanding character, academic achievement, and involvement. We also held the ring ceremony for our 2025 section champion softball and baseball teams. At halftime, we crowned seniors Angelo Adame and Jalen Mitchell as our homecoming royalty and showcased Toro Spirit with our annual homecoming skit competition. We ended the night with Tony's red carpet, a high-energy after-game dance celebrating the conclusion of an exciting week of activities. Next slide, please. At the end of September, the Taurus Band and Color Guard participated in the Madera Old Timers Parade, showcasing their outstanding talent and the excellence of our instrumental music program. Taurus Band and Guard took first place in the band division and earned sweepstakes champion honors as the best overall parade entry. Next slide, please. Taurus ASB had the honor of hosting over 2,000 ASB leadership students and advisors from across the Central Valley at the CATA Area C Student Conference. Student leaders had the opportunity to connect and network while attending workshops, keynote sessions, and breakout activities designed to elevate their school culture and climate. We were proud to have 6 Taurus ASB students present at the conference. We love hosting events like this to showcase our campus and all the great things Madera has to offer. Next slide, please. October has been a busy month as our feeder schools hosted their annual jogathons and fall festivals. Last week, Taurus ASB and Cheer joined our Nishimoto Hawks for their jogathon, helping count laps and cheer on our future Toros. Tony the Toro even joined Nishi the Hawk for the first lap to kick off the event. That evening, ASB leadership members volunteered at the Veranda Fall Festival, helping with booths and supporting teachers wherever needed. We love every opportunity to give back to our Red Pyramid community. Next slide, please. Taurus High School was named an America's Healthiest School All-Star by the Alliance for a Healthier Generation. This award reflects our ongoing commitment to student wellness and healthy school environments. A special shout-out goes to our Taurus PE department for their hard work and diligence in helping us achieve this recognition. Next slide, please. The Torres High Art Department, in collaboration with our library, hosted an Hispanic Heritage Art Gallery throughout September and October. Student artwork was displayed alongside book recommendations celebrating Hispanic writers and creatives. Our library continues to do an outstanding job of creating a safe and inclusive space for all students. Next slide, please. As the first quarter came to a close, we celebrated our October Students of the Month. Each teacher selected one student in our ASB Hype Crew, led by Tony the Toro, surprised recipients with certificate and snack bag to recognize their achievements. We also recognized our 2 staff members of the quarter. Students and parents nominated one certificated and one classified staff member for the honor. It was wonderful to see the positive impact our educators have on both students and colleagues as ASB worked to select our winners. Next slide, please. We love celebrating Halloween at Torres. We kicked off the fun with our annual Halloween movie night where students enjoyed food trucks, crafts, and movie in the squad. This year's feature film was a classic Coraline. Just this afternoon, we opened our annual ASB Haunted House, transforming the ASB room into a spooky experience for students during lunch. We'll wrap up the week with our Halloween costume contest for both students and staff. Next slide, please. Our THS volleyball team wrapped up league play with an impressive 7-2 record, finishing second overall and earning the number 2 seed in the Division 6 playoffs. Our cross-country team had an incredible experience in Oregon, competing at the Nike Invitational against top teams nationwide. The boys team placed 6th overall, and just this past weekend, they won the large school division championship at the Clovis Invitational, setting a new meet record, a huge accomplishment. Our girls tennis team is also headed to the postseason as a number 13 seed in the Division 4 playoffs, traveling to Strathmore for the first round. The boys water polo team is making history with a 9-3 overall record and a 7-2 in league play, pushing for their first playoff appearance in school history. Finally, our girls golf team finished 3rd at the NYL Championships. One of our golfers qualified for the CIF qualifier, narrowly missing advancement to the next round. Congratulations to all our athletes for a strong and exciting fall season. Next slide, please. Our CTE programs traveled to Fresno for the CTE Expo, the Central Valley's largest career and technical education event, bringing together CTE and ROP programs at Chuck Canty Stadium. Torres PSA cadets played a key role in the event by assisting with logistics, managing traffic flow, and helping vendors find their booths. In addition to their leadership duties, the cadets participated in the CTE police experience, touring the Jerry Dyer Police Training Facility, and exploring mock residential environments used for officer training. They also visited the Fresno City College Police Academy, observing cadets and drill formation, a powerful look into the discipline and commitment required in law enforcement training. Next slide, please. Okay. Here are upcoming events. Save the date. Our Torres Theater Company will open the Diary of Anne Frank beginning on November 13th. We hope you'll join us for an outstanding production and support our talented theater program. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Fernandez. Item number 8, Student Board Member Report. Trustee Castillo, I invite you to share your report with the board.
Thank you, and I apologize in advance. I'm a little bit sick. Good evening, President Seibert, Clerk Mendoza, fellow trustees, Superintendent Lyle, and members of the audience. I am pleased to be here tonight to report on Madera High School. Madera High School spirit and festivities are prominent this time of year. Our clubs and sports had so much fun participating in our annual celebration, Homecoming. On-campus organizations created their floats, students participated in dress-up days, and fostered a sense of community in supporting our homecoming royalty nominees in their campaigns. We appreciate those who came to watch our homecoming parade down Howard Street last Friday and/or joined us Friday night at our homecoming football game against Sanger. Our sentimental ceremonies have begun for our MHS sports and arts programs. Our fall sports, band, and color guard senior nights have been filled with tears, smiles, and memories. Football, cheerleading, gymnastics, tennis, band, color guard, and flag football are just a few of the programs that have honored our seniors, with volleyball being our most recent. Our drama department recently performed their eerie one-act play, Night of the Living Dead. Successfully, our drama team sold out each night with our first very own splash zone. Additionally, MHS choir students participated in their annual Disney concert. Students chose to perform individually or with others a Disney song of their choice. Great job, drama, and choir. This October, generous MUSD student athletes and coaches have been volunteering their Saturdays to host our local card camps. These camps provide an opportunity for young community members to practice or try new sports in a safe, welcoming, and fun environment. Our athletes teach children various sports principles, fundamentals of the sports, work on technique development, and overall create an enjoyable experience for young, aspiring athletes. MHS alternate trustee Alejandro Zavalza and I are looking forward to hosting our semester 1 student voice meeting. We will have club officers attend to represent their constituents and engage in physical, productive conversations. The feedback from these meetings typically guides our courses of action for the rest of the semester, so we typically focus on issues and ideas that are important to our students. Our meeting will be this Thursday, October 30th, from 10:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. I am so honored to get to represent such a great group of students and to share this information with you tonight. Thank you for your time. I know it's valuable.
Thank you, Trustee Castillo. Item number 9, consent agenda. Mrs. Reardon.
Items listed under the consent agenda are considered to be routine and are acted on by the Board of Trustees in one motion. There is no discussion of these items prior to the board vote unless a member of the board or staff requests a specific item to be considered and discussed separately and/or removed from the consent agenda prior to the adoption of the agenda. It is understood that the administration recommends approval on all consent items. Each item on the consent agenda approved by the Board of Trustees shall be deemed to have been considered in full and adopted as recommended.
Okay, I'll open the consent agenda for public comment. Mrs. Reardon.
If you wish to address the board on an item included in the consent agenda, please step up to the podium and state your name and city of residence. If you are joining us remotely and would like to make a public comment, click on the reactions icon located at the bottom of your screen. In the reactions window, click on raise hand button and wait for your name to be called. Speakers will be allowed to address the board in the order they approach the podium or appear on our screen. President Seibert, we do not have any participants who wish to address the board at this time.
Okay, thank you. Seeing no one come forward, I close public comment. I now entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda. State your name when making the motion, and we second the motion.
President Seibert, I so move to approve the consent agenda.
Trustee Fleek, I'll second.
It's been moved by Trustee Salazar and seconded by Trustee Fleek to approve the consent agenda. There are 4 resolutions on the consent agenda. Mrs. Reardon, please pull the board for the record.
Trustee Castillo?
Yes.
Trustee Ahmad?
Yes.
Trustee Cortez?
Yes.
Trustee Dybert?
Yes.
Trustee Fleek?
Yes.
Trustee Salazar?
Yes.
Clerk Mendoza?
Yes.
President Seibert?
Yes.
President Seibert, I counted 8 ayes, 0 nays, 0 abstentions, and 0 absent. 1 vote was preferential.
Okay, thank you. Item number 10, information reports. Item number 10A, union time. At this time, I invite the presidents of the unions to address the board.
Clerk Mendoza, board members, Superintendent Lyle. I'll start off with, I understand, wow, it was quite a day at the Madera County Superintendent of Schools. Quite a lot of visitors there. I'll start with, I was there, and in fact, I will tell you why I was there. I went over to submit again another denial of the MUSD application for the waiver of Ed Code 41372, bringing to the assistant superintendent, the interim superintendent of Madera County Superintendent of Schools that the revised CEA sent over from Madera Unified is again in error, has false information, and as my original denial brought up, that the claim that classroom teachers exceed the salaries of teachers in comparable districts is still false. is inaccurate. Again, the second one y'all sent over has inaccurate data in it again. So, Superintendent Lyle, feel free to tell me what y'all are doing over there, or otherwise you can tell me later. But I did pick up a couple snippets. And one thing, if this was open to FOIA, I'd be FOIA-ing it. But if there was a comment made that UTA's going to strike in February, that's unfortunate that that was said, if it was said. And then I will close with congratulations, Superintendent Lyle, for your 3-year contract extension. If I was a betting man, I'd say after all the chips fall and everything is settled here, that you will be getting a raise, because obviously right now it would be bad optics to the community and everyone if you had a raise in light of what's happening. In closing, there's still time to get off of this path. Thank you.
Okay, seeing no other union representatives, we'll move on to item number 11, Superintendent's time.
President Cyber, Clerk Mendoza, members of the board, and public. I have a few items I just want to share briefly that our high school theater is reaching new heights in their recent productions. The Night of the Living Dead was incredible in its set design, its costumes, its theatrics. It was really quite impressive. Shrek was even more so impressive. It was one of those things that can change your mood. I mean, I went in as a very tired Saturday, pretty worn out, and came out having laughed and felt so much better. I was very impressed. And here comes the Diary of Anne Frank, which I have been assured by Ms. Neverett is an incredible play. She's really excited to premiere this for our community. So I want to thank everyone involved in arts education for continually setting the bar a little bit higher and higher and higher. And it is a transformational experience for our students. You can see it literally happen on stage. They feel so amazingly proud when they come off stage and interact with the audience afterwards. I wanted to talk very briefly about homecoming, and I privately thank the activities directors and principals, but I'd like to make that public and extend my gratitude to all the vice principals, the teachers, the safety officers, custodians, and all the support staff that are involved who made homecoming season so successful at all 3 high schools. All 3 high schools made us really proud, and the kids and families had memories and photos that will last a lifetime. Grand Marshals Eddie Murphy, Mary Petrowski, and Marcel McAllister were all great choices for their schools. And congratulations to our activity directors, Cummings, Lopez, and Speed. They brought the community together and made us really proud. I'd like to also comment for the public record on Service with Pride in the Hall of Fame celebration, which took place October 23rd at Torres High School. Grace Fuller, longtime teacher for Madera Union High School and Madera High School when it switched into the Unified School District, was honored, as was Cheryl Blackstone. Both are 2 Hall of Fame inductees and very worthy. They exemplify what it truly means to be a student champion. We had a total of 138 employees who were invited to the event to celebrate their 20, 25th, 30, and 35th and 40 years of service, as well as their retirement milestones. And I want to publicly thank all who attended and supported the event, from the board members, our cabinet members, site leaders, and tons of family members. Also, thank you to Liz, Maria, Lorena, Sylvia, Lucy, Patty, Gloria, and Desiree for all the work behind the scenes to make that event look so dignified and honor so many distinguished employees. Today, as Trustee Fleek will attest, we visited Torres High School for a student voice meeting, and Trustee Martinez Luna organized a very successful meeting where students shared both concerns and positives. They noted challenges with missing calendar alerts and last-minute messages since phones were placed in pouches, but said classroom engagement and campus safety have greatly improved. Students praised safety officers and teachers for their care and urged fairness and to avoid favoritism. And they highlighted the impact of passionate teachers, calm classroom environments, and hands-on interactive learning. They love projects and they want more. Thanks to Trustee Fleek for attending and getting to hear that firsthand with both Liz and me. And then lastly, on a really sober note, Last Friday, the Proud Panthers experienced a very rare and difficult life and death student health incident. It's premature to say much at this time, but at a later date, I may share more. Today, let me just tell the trustees and the public that the health staff and the front office staff at Pershing Elementary proved the truth about their incredible reputation. Their professionalism and teamwork gave a family more hope and a fighting chance. District staff responded in force to support their Panther colleagues, and although, like everyone involved, I too am heartbroken and wishing for miracles, I know how seriously and professionally the Pershing Panthers performed. It might be sad, I might be sad for a good family and a great school, but I'm also proud to believe in Madera Unified, and I saw the proof as to why. Thank you.
Thank you, Superintendent Lyle. Item number 12, new business. Item number 12A1, Administrative and Support Services, award bid number 091725, Expanded Learning Opportunity Program, Year 2 Track Upgrade Project. Superintendent Lyle.
So President Cyber Clerk Mendoza and members of the board and public, we have Director of Facilities and Construction Management, Rosalind Cox, here for this item, and she always does an amazing job. Ms. Cox?
Good evening, President Seibert, members of the board, Superintendent Lyle. I am pleased to be bringing you this bid item tonight. Just to remind you of what the ELOP Year 2 Track Upgrades Project includes for all 3 middle schools. We will be installing new home and visitor bleachers with a total capacity of 1,000 seats. The construction of a new snack bar, restroom, and storage building, as well as new athletic field lighting and a new scoreboard. So all of that will be going in at all 3 middle schools. A bid for this project was first advertised on September 17th and September 24th. We had the bid opening last Tuesday, October 21st. The district received 9 bids for this project, so a great turnout, and so we were really happy with the bids were very competitive. The lowest responsive and responsible bidder was Soltech Pacific Construction Company with a bid of $12,776,000. The funding is from our ELOP funds. And pending board approval of this bid, construction is scheduled to begin mid-November with a completion of end of June 2026. And so we are recommending the award of bid number 091725 for the ELOP Year 2 Track Upgrades Project to Soltech Pacific Construction Company, as they are the lowest responsive and responsible bidder. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I open this item for public comment. Mrs. Raridan.
If you wish to address the board regarding this item, please step up to the podium and state your name and city of residence. If you're joining us remotely and would like to make a public comment, click on the reactions icon located at the bottom of your screen. In the reactions window, click on the raise hand button and wait for your name to be called. Speakers will be allowed to address the board in the order they approach the podium or appear on our screen. President Seibert, we do not have any participants who wish to address the board at this time.
Thank
Also,
you.
for the record, Trustee Castillo and Trustee Fleek left at 7:50.
Thank you. Seeing none, I come forward. I close public comment. Trustees, do you have any questions for staff? Okay.
Yeah, I do. Since we didn't get the supporting document in our agenda, do you have one to put on the screen of the different bids? I know we went over the superintendent, but that's over a week that the public can see.
The bid tally sheet should have been attached to the bid item. You don't see that in there in your
No,
packet?
it has the OP program for 2021-25, but there's nothing attached. Then it goes on to the expanded learning, which is the next one.
Should be something that looks like this.
Oh, yeah, I see it now.
Okay, perfect.
It's got these pages weren't marked.
Okay, there you go.
Thank you.
No problem.
Okay, and now we entertain a motion and a second to approve item number 12A1. Please state your name when you make the motion and when you second the motion.
Trustee Cortez, and I move to approve item 12A1 as presented.
Trustee Ahmad, second. Okay, moved by trustee Cortez and seconded by trustee Ahmad to approve item number 12A1. Mrs. Reardon, will you please poll the board?
Trustee Castillo left, she's absent. Trustee Ahmad,
Yes.
trustee Cortez,
Yes.
trustee Dybert,
Yes.
trustee Fleek left, absent. Trustee Salazar,
Yes.
clerk Mendoza,
Yes.
President Seibert.
Yes.
President Seibert, I counted 6 ayes, 0 nays, 0 abstentions, and 1 absent.
Okay, thank you. Item number 12B1, educational services, approval of expanded learning opportunity plan. Lieutenant Lyle?
So President Cyber Clerk Mendoza, members of the board and public, we have Director Suzanne Dudney here, who's doing some pretty exceptional work developing programs pretty much from scratch. And here's the plan that is going to show you how she plans to do it for the rest of the school year. Ms. Dudney, if you would.
Thank you. Good evening, President Seibert, Clerk Mendoza, trustees, Superintendent Lyle. Thank you for allowing me to come in tonight and bring you the new updated expanded learning program plan. Tonight, I'm requesting that we review and approve the new program plan. As you may recall, the program started back in 2022, and the CDE put out a template which we used to construct the first program plan, but it has evolved quite a bit, and our program here in Madera Unified has evolved quite a bit since its inception. And so what you have in front of you is a copy of the updated program plan in your packet. It is a lot of information to absorb, and so tonight I want to go over the highlights of the plan and give you some more information about what is included in the plan and what are some of the differences since the previous one was adopted. So just as a reminder, this is, one more, thank you. Just as a reminder, this is the definition of the Expanded Learning Opportunities Program. And if you will, I'll just read this one page. The expanded learning means before school, after school, summer, or intersession learning programs that focus on developing the academic, social, emotional, and physical needs and interests of pupils through hands-on, engaging learning experiences. It is the intent of the legislature that expanded learning programs are pupil-centered, results-driven, include community partners, and complement but do not replicate learning activities in the regular school day and school year. Furthermore, expanded learning opportunities has the same meaning as expanded learning as defined in Ed Code. Expanded learning opportunities does not mean an extension of instructional time, but rather opportunities to engage pupils in enrichment, play, nutrition, and other developmentally appropriate activities. So that was the Ed Code that was adopted back in the 2021-22 school year. Also, just as a reminder, this program plan is developed to be a living document. It is to be reviewed annually or more, and then the state does require that we revise and update this plan and bring it before our Board of Trustees for approval every 3 years. The plan was originally adopted in January of 2023, so this is our 3-year update. All right. The template was designed by the California Department of Education, and this year they have, in the last year, they have revised that plan and has made it much more extensive. And so we were going to go through that tonight. So some of the new things in template, it reflects the expanded requirements, and the CDE has made some clarifications to the Ed Code. It aligns with quality standards for expanded learning, and it requires much more detailed narratives of our program. And it highlights some of the program growth that we've experienced, some of the new partnerships, and the enhanced offerings. As another reminder, our ELP requirements are that we provide access to our students during school days of a minimum of 9 hours of programming. And during the school days, during the 180 school days, that means it's a combination of school instruction,
lunch, recess, and after-school program. And so we do that. And then on 9 school days, we are required for a minimum of 30 days to also offer 9 hours of extended programming. And what that looks like for our district, the plans that we have developed is we typically do 5 days of winter intersession, which we will do again this year. It's the last week of winter break. We also count summer school, which is academic summer school in the morning and after-school programming in the afternoon. And then we also have 10 days of summer camp in July. And so those are just some of the basics, but that's what we've been tasked to do with the ELOP. This plan is based on the Continuous Quality Improvement, CQI, which has always been a part of expanded learning and which is the guidelines that we follow through our after-school program as well. But it is an ongoing process that helps us ensure our high-quality programming and our responsiveness to our students. And so I'm going to go through each of these. I'll try and make it quick, but I will go through each of these and just highlight some what's in the plan. So the first one is safe and supportive environment. This section addresses physical and emotional safety. Our staff are trained and safety protocols are followed at all times. We try to replicate the safety protocols that take place at the school sites as much as possible. Our supervision ratios are strictly maintained. That's 20-1 for grades 1st through 12th and 10-1 for TK in kindergarten. For our off-site camps, we do provide transportation, and we send chaperone and staff to supervise at all times too, to maintain that safety. And then our athletic staff is all trained with basic safety requirements, CPR, first aid, and those type of things. The second one is active and engaged learning. Students that participate in the hands-on, we try to get it as hands-on, high interest as we can. The emphasis is on our basic, our STEM, our arts, our athletics, our CTE courses, and as much more as we can. We have developed a number of partnerships with our community vendors. We try to take advantage of our local vendors and local people that are experts in the field to bring programming to our students. We also have, since the development of the CARD, the Community Athletics and Recreation Department, they also have been providing a number of athletic camps that promote this skill development and team building, sportsmanship, those type of things. All right. The third one is skill building. We try to include real-world project-based learning whenever possible in our camps and our enrichment activities. Students get a choice of courses that interest them, and so we believe that creates an ownership and motivation to master those skills. But student choice is a big emphasis in our programs as well. Number 4 is youth voice and leadership. We emphasize, again, student choice whenever possible. We have been conducting parent and student surveys. We recently surveyed students in grades 4 through 6, and we got over 400 responses. And we asked them about what kinds of camps they'd like to see, if they participated, what they'd liked, what they didn't like. And we used that information to help plan our programs. We also, one of the things that we are working on with our vendors is last summer, we were really excited. The zoo, actually, we've had a good partnership with them recently, and the zoo asked us to help them. They wanted to pilot an internship. And so we put out the word to our high schools. They had over 50 student applicants. They interviewed, they had to provide a resume, they interviewed, and they selected students that they had them out to the zoo to do some training. They gave them a small stipend, and those students actually came out with our young elementary students during the zoo camp and helped work the zoo camp with those students. And that was a pretty great experience for them. So we're looking at doing more of that. Number 5 is healthy choices and behaviors. We promote fitness and athletics as much as possible, wellness and nutrition. In most of our camps, we try to include an element of physical activity. For instance, winter camp, the winter camp on site Each student is going to participate in a sports activity. We provide meals for all of our camps. You can't have kids for 9 hours without meals. So we provide breakfast, lunch, and snack as appropriate. If they're half-day camps, they get the appropriate meal that coincides with that. Anything on site is provided by our child nutrition department. And when we send our students away to camps, the vendors will provide, that's part of the contract, is that they will provide meals and snacks for our students. Number 6 is diversity, access, and equity. We try to be inclusive as much as possible. All Madera Unified students are eligible to participate in our camps. We hire paraprofessionals, we hire support staff when needed, and we try to match school day accommodations whenever possible to provide, to prevent any barriers from access. And we've been fairly successful with that so far, or really successful with that so far. And as far as outreach go, we've been trying really hard to make it available to everyone. We do flyers, we do mailers home. The registration is through text messaging. We do a lot of Parent Square messaging as well. So we really try to get the word out there as much as possible to provide equitable access. And of course, we prioritize our foster and homeless youth. They do get priority registration. All right, number 7 is quality staff. Our staff, our after-school program staff, which staffs the majority of our on-site camps as well, participate in ongoing professional development through teaching fellows. We also train staff as necessary to provide the camps. We meet the minimum CDE qualifications for our staff. So what that means is that the CDE requires us to have a minimum qualification of what a paraprofessional aide the qualifications of a paraprofessional aide in our district. So any adult that is supervising students has to have at least pass the paraprofessional exam or have 48 units. And so what we do is normally we will send one of our staff members, our after-school program staff members who do meet those qualifications with the students at all times, whether they're off campus or on campus, to provide that extra layer of support and qualification. In addition to that, any vendors that work on site must meet the minimum qualifications of our volunteers, which includes Department of Justice fingerprint live scan clearance and TB testing. Okay, number 8 is a clear vision, mission, and purpose. So we have developed a mission and vision and purpose for our expanded learning department. We try to coordinate that with our district vision as well. And it's there our vision is to empower young minds through year-round hands-on learning experiences that foster curiosity, creativity, and resilience, preparing them to excel in academia and beyond. Our mission is to foster inclusive, innovation, bridge gaps, inspire exploration, and ensure every learner thrives in a dynamic environment. And then our purpose is there as well. We try really hard to provide as much to foster that inclusion in our programs and empower our students with some of these activities that we provide. Okay, number 9 is collaborative partnerships. We have developed some very strong partnerships with our community organizations and also with our district departments. We can't put these camps on without the contribution of all of our departments in Madera Unified. With arts education, CARD, and college and career readiness, they help us to provide a number of exciting and innovative programs for our students. And our community-based organizations are listed there. That's not inclusive, but those are the ones that we have have been with us almost since the beginning. And a number of those organizations we rely on them to provide some quality programming for our students. So we work really hard with our collaborative partners, and it's an ongoing relationship that we're looking for, but also we set high standards for them as well. So we take we survey parents, we survey students, we do observations and make sure that we're getting the highest quality partners working within our programs. Okay, and then the continuous quality improvement. We make adjustments to our programs and our vendors based on that feedback, as I was mentioning. Students and families provide that invaluable feedback. We survey our parents as much as possible at the end of camp. We also took the opportunity at the recent PRC Resource Fair to survey parents theirs as well. And we make sure that we are using that feedback to adjust our programs and make changes as necessary. The CQI is already in place with our after-school program, and it's a very robust program that gets reported on each year. And so we rely on the continuous quality improvement to make changes to our program and to make sure that we are providing the best possible high-quality programs that we can. All right. So our program management section talks about some of the policies and procedures that we have in place. We've developed some new procedures, but we also follow all of the district policies as well, and oversight. And we have to be on top of that with our compliance. We want to make sure that we are in compliance with federal and state regulations and follow the district policies. Our program data is addressed in this section as well. And we do that collection through In Play, which actually is there's the provider that handles our program registration, or ELP registration. So they send the text messages out and they handle the registration and they collect that information that we have to maintain on file with the signed registrations and that type of thing. We also partner with ERC, which handles our after-school program registration. They handle attendance, sign in, sign out, and all of our grant reporting for those programs. So in addition, we work really closely with our fiscal services, and they keep us in line and help us out when we have questions, and really help us with that grant reporting and the program reporting. In addition to the policies and procedures, we've also listed in that section the possible expenditures that we may use with the ELOP funds. And so you can see there that we try to include just about everything we could think of that we might possibly use those funding for. So that's a list of the expenditures we might have. And finally, as part of program management, it requests us to list who runs the program, basically. And under the direction of Associate Superintendent Sissel, we have a very small but mighty team. We have myself, we have a program manager, we have a program supervisor who's here with me tonight, Elizabeth Rojas. She's the newest member of our team. And we have a department secretary, and then we have our ELOP warehouse assistant, which helps with CARD as well. But without this team, I just want to thank you for allowing me to add one more person this year, because it has made a huge difference in the work that we're able to do, and hopefully we'll remove some of the bags under my eyes. All right. At the end of the program plan, there were some additional general questions that the CDE added. One of them was they wanted us to explain how we're viewing this as one comprehensive program. So we get funding from the After School Education and Safety, ACES, for our after-school program, and also Century 21 Community Learning Centers. And we get the ELOP funding. And the CDE has requested that we view this as one comprehensive program, and we do. So we're able to use some ELOP funds to help with after-school program. We had to expand after-school program to include TK Kinder. We use funds for that. We're also bringing more enrichment into the after-school program, and then we have to follow basically the same rules, and we use the most stringent of the rules. So, for instance, the staffing ratios is the same across all of our programs. So we have to have a 20-to-1 in our after-school program and our ELOP programs. So we do view this as one comprehensive program, and the reporting and and the policies and procedures apply to all of those programs. And then they included a section on TK in kindergarten. As you know, with the introduction to ELOP, we added TK in kindergarten classes to our after-school program. When we started introducing them in the middle of the year in 2022, 2023, we barely received enough students to fill one class per school, which is 10 students. We had some classes of 5, and this year we have 44 classes across the district of TK Kinder. They're combined TK Kinder. So that's 400 TK Kinders in our after-school programs. So the program has expanded quite a bit. We do maintain a 10-to-1 staffing ratio for TK and Kinder for littlest. Our staff worked with the preschool department early on to get some training on how to set those up, because it looks very different for TK and Kinder than it does for the other elementary sites. And then our activities are very selective as well, and we really focus on the foundational skills, social emotional learning, and they're quicker classes because we don't have the TK Kinders sitting through classes for more than about 15, 20 minutes, because that's about all they can handle at that time of the day. So they also had us list how we are offering and providing access. And for the CDE and ELOP, providing access means that we have made these programs available to all Madera Unified students. And so in order to provide access, they want to see science. Anybody who has a signed enrollment form is considered given access. So again, we provide mailers, we do the text messaging, we do Parent Square messages, we send a mailer home. There's one coming out in 2 weeks about winter intercession. We just try to reach the families as much as possible, and everything's in English and Spanish. And we have, a call center in my office, and parents can call and get help with registration and answer program questions. And then we provide transportation for all programs to provide access. So anytime, like for instance, winter, if a camp is not happening at that student's school site, we do have to provide transportation. So we do provide transportation from each of the elementary school sites to the camp locations. They also put in some requirements about field trips. So field trips for under expanded learning are, we cannot have field trips that are specifically for entertainment purposes. There needs to be some sort of academic or enrichment program. I'm happy to say that all of our programs do have some sort of enrichment element, including our Wild Water Adventure Camp. They do water safety and sports programming and sports skills. So just in case you were wondering. But we do maintain all the safety protocols when they're going on their field trips, and our supervision ratios are maintained, and we send staff with them when they're going to away camps. So, and then the final portion of the program plan that you have is the legal requirements. So what the CDE has done is added at the end the specific guidelines of some of the things that we've gone over about staffing ratios, and there's about 3 pages of legal requirements in there as well. So I hope that gave you enough information about the plan. Again, it's probably about twice as long as the first plan we brought to you that was approved back in 2023. And I'll take any questions if you have any questions.
Okay, at this time, I open this up for public comment. Mrs. Reardon.
If you wish to address the board regarding this item, please step up to the podium and state your name and city of residence. If you are joining us remotely and would like to make a public comment, click on the reactions icon located at the bottom of your screen. In the reactions window, click on the raise hand button and wait for your name to be called. Speakers would be allowed to address the board in the order they approach the podium or appear on our screen. President Seibert, we do not have any participants who wish to address the board at this time.
Thank you. Seeing none come forward, I close public comment. Trustees, you have questions for staff?
Yes, thank you for the very comprehensive overview. We haven't seen it in a while, but I'm so happy to see that the students of the periodic reports that you have from time to time, that they're enjoying taking advantage of this. So, questions for you. You said that the registration, attendance, and all that is handled by a program named InPlay?
Yes.
Is that like online registration program?
It is. It's a third-party vendor, and what they do is we set up the registration in their system. They send out text messages to the primary contact number from Aries, and each child gets an individual link that allows them to, the parents to click on the link, and they can go through and see what camps are available for that child. And that's the other thing, we do that in order to guarantee that those are Madera Unified students, because that was one of the other requirements, is that this is only available to our Madera Unified students. And so they verify that they're Madera Unified students, and then they list the camps that are available to that child. So it's instead of scrolling through all of the camps, they just see what's available for that
grade level
Yeah,
and
by
for
grade
that
level.
child?
Mhm.
Okay. And I know you have like the after school, right?
Yes.
During the school day, and then you also
Yes.
have the winter and then the summer.
Mhm.
So do all students that want to attend after-school programs, is there a waiting list for the regular school day or maybe for the winter or the spring? Do any students?
Yeah, so with the after-school program, what we started doing, because part of ELOP is, states that you have to offer access, and then once you've met all the requirements for our TK through sixth grade students, then we can offer programs to middle and high school, which we want to do. And so what we started doing with the after-school program is holding open enrollment in April and May, and any student that registers during that time is guaranteed a spot for the fall in the after-school program. That allows us to do staffing over summer to make sure we're ready. This year, we had an explosion of population, so we staffed, we planned for the staffing, the registration that we had at the time over summer, plus we added some extra spots for future growth, and we received a number of enrollment the week before school and the first week of school. And so we've pretty much filled all those growth spots with staff to accommodate them. And we have been trying to keep our waiting lists down. We still have a few waiting lists, small waiting lists at some of our sites. Adams just enrolled additional students, and they're up to close to 300 students in the after-school program
That's
now.
my next question. So what percentage of each population of students at elementary level take advantage of this program?
So, and I'm glad
More or
you told me
less.
that. I also gave you a one-page handout. Yes, that one right there. If you look on the other side, just give some brief information about the after-school program and then our winter and summer programs.
Okay.
But on the front, on the bottom, about 30% of our students in TK through sixth grade attend the after-school program. Right now, we just passed the 4,000 student a day mark with elementary, middle, and high school. So we've had a significant growth this year.
That's good.
So
That's
it's-
good.
Which is good, yeah. And as far as the in-play, the registration for winter and summer, we do do a number of things. We try to over-enroll a little bit because we know some students may not show up. And then the programs do fill up rather quickly, so our parents are really getting used to the system.
Yeah,
They do fill up quickly, but we do have waiting lists, and when students don't show up on the first day of a camp, then we enroll from the waiting list, or we enroll when students just show up. So we try to accommodate as many as we can.
I'm glad that students are taking advantage, the parents are taking advantage of a lot of the enrichments. The only thing I have a concern is with TK. TK students, they start their school day at 8 in the morning, and then they have a full day.
Yes.
And then they go to an after-school program until what time?
For elementary, they're open, they can stay there till 6.
The TK students?
All students in elementary can stay in the after-school program goes till 6, yes.
Okay, yes. My concern is such a long day without their parents.
It is a
How
very
old are
long
the
day.
TK students?
4, yeah. So and part of the requirement of ELOP is that we offer access, which means we have to offer the 9 hours.
Right, I know.
We don't make them attend, but I think for our working parents, it's very important because to have a safe place for their child after school. But you're right, we are feeling the effects of the 4-year-olds.
You
in
said
our
that
after-school program.
the enrollment has increased, right?
Yes, we have about 400 TK and kinder. We combine TK and kinder because of the ratios. They have a 1 to 10 ratio. So we have about 400 TK kinder students in our programs right now.
Okay, thank you so much.
I know there's more questions, but I want you to double down just real quick and say it again. How many students
So
in ASP?
yeah, we just passed the 4,000 students a day mark with
4,000
registered
students
on
every day.
average.
So that's like a small school district after school.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
I mean,
feeling
I
it.
think we need to pause on that because at one point, I don't think we were even at 2,000 kids a day not that long ago. We were under 2,000. Now we're at 4. So it's a huge growth in this. And you know, the board took a huge risk many years ago to, you know, and it wasn't politically popular to take the program back away from Madera County and try to develop it. And this is where it stands today. I think that's valuable for the trustees to wrap their heads around. And CARD was over 3,000 unique participants last year as well.
I believe so, yes.
So, I mean, it's an incredible amount of student enrichment activity that kids and families want, clearly, right? So, I mean, I think that's a really phenomenal benchmark that's been achieved, and I hope the team feels really good about that.
Yeah, we do.
I just want to recognize you guys doing a good job. I know my family has attended some of these programs, and they're very engaging and they enjoy them. And the parents, I know I've gotten a lot of good compliments from the parents and the different variety of different programs you guys have, and then the CARD and everything. So that's very good. But I thank you for always looking out for the student and how we could better the program, make it more efficient, and providing it from every which way, from the safety, the health, the meals, and trying to engage the students. And they welcome going back to school, and they enjoy it. And especially like during the different summer breaks, the winter breaks and stuff, the kids aren't just at home bored, and this way they have a place to go and be with their classmates and make other friends with these different other programs. That's what's good. I know my grandson has made other friends besides in his class, and they become his best friends in these different programs. So that encourages him to join other athletics that he normally wouldn't have done. And thank you. And I've gotten that same from other parents from different areas of our school district.
Thank you. We try. And I would be remiss if I don't acknowledge the sheer amount of Madera Unified districts that we work with to make these all happen, from safety to, we have classified staff, we have paraprofessionals, safety, child nutrition, transportation, communications. I mean, you name it. We work preschool, we work with them all. And so it's quite an effort, but we need that support to make these things happen. So I appreciate those comments.
Okay. Let me close this up here.
Just while we're wrapping up, I just want you to know that we have all heard those compliments. Sometimes they come from family, sometimes they come from friends, sometimes they just come on the street. That has happened to me, all three. And it is, used to be that we talked a lot in education 20 years ago about students from, the middle class and higher who have all these opportunities to expose their kids to these, enrichment activities, visiting museums, going to theater, being involved in sports camps, taking art lessons. And we're doing that for all the kids of Madera Unified. And we're doing it at a high level and for free with safety, transportation, and food. Like, it's hard to wrap our heads around this because it's starting to get to the point where we're expecting these kinds of things, which is a little troubling on some level because we forget just how quickly this has changed from not a whole lot to an amazing amount in just like 5 years, 4 years. So it's something that your team should be really proud of. We're really proud of it. And we talk about it at our executive cabinet meetings on Fridays. It comes up quite often, especially when we see some of the really cool things that kids are going to get to do. Like I'm down for laser tag. I think that was one of the coolest things ever as a kid. I can't believe that's back. Like, it's so good. But what a fun life kids get to have now.
Yeah.
Because there's people that are building those experiences for them outside of school. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Well, the Ninja's coming back this winter, so.
You know how we feel about that.
Yeah.
So this is totally funded, everything's funded by the ELOP grant, right?
Yes, it's the ELOP, and then the after-school program is a combination of the grant funding and the ELOP funds. Yes.
All right. Now, at this point, I entertain a motion and a second to approve item 12B1. State your name, you make the motion, and you second the motion.
President Cyber, I so move to approve the Expanding Learning Opportunities Program Plan.
Trustee Dybert, I second that motion.
Okay, it's been moved by trustee Salazar and seconded by trustee Dybert to approve item 12B1. Mrs. Reardon, would you please poll the board?
Trustee Castillo is absent. Trustee Ahmad?
Yes.
Trustee Cortez?
Yes.
Trustee Dybert?
Yes.
Trustee Fleek is absent. Trustee Salazar?
Yes.
Clerk Mendoza?
Yes.
President Seibert?
Yes.
President Seibert, I counted 6 ayes, 0 nays, 0 abstention, and 2 absent.
Thank you. Item number 13, announcement. Superintendent Lyle, do you have any announcements for the board?
I do, sir. Just, and these are quick. Science Olympiad will be held at Madera South High School in the East Gym on November 6th. That will be really cool. It always is. We have a Visual and Performing Arts Board Advisory meeting on November 6th. There's no school on Monday, November 10th, and the Veterans Day holiday is on November 11th. Parent Advisory Committee meeting will be held on November 12th at 6 p.m. in the Prices Building. And DLAC will host its meeting on November 17th at 6 p.m. here in the boardroom. That's all.
Okay, thank you. Superintendent Lyle. Item number 14, miscellaneous. 14A, Board Advisory Committee updates. Board members have any updates on any advisory meetings?
Just on, attended the DLAC meeting on the 20th of October, and they voted in their president and vice president and their new committee for the year of 25-26.
Okay. Trustee Mendoza?
No, I have none.
Okay. I attended the Lavina School Site Council meeting, and they would sure love to have some adjustments on the requirements on ELD. They would love to, like kids were 5-6 years in ELD, the kids could be opt out if they wanted to. But, you know, we got to work on the state legislator to get this stuff approved. But these kids will do better in regular CET classes, learn skills and stuff. And some of these kids, they said the parents were home language was Spanish, but some of those kids don't know how to speak Spanish. They're all English, yet they're in ELD. And some have a hard time passing the test to get out of ELD. So there's a lot of problems with it, with the ELD program that hope we can make some changes. And that's all I have on that. And let's see, we're down to 14B. Okay, suggested future agenda items. Trustee, do you have any items you'd like to, board leadership to consider?
Yes, can we have the updated NWA report?
Updated NWA. Okay. Okay. None other?
No, just on the same topic. Are we going to receive just the report individually, or is the board going to sit down and discuss that after we receive those reports?
How much time does it take? We don't want to be individually, it might take too much time.
I'd like to know a little bit more about what you're thinking, Trustee Dybert.
Well, I did receive the binder, and the only information that's there is the percentile for the fall. And the other piece of information that is there is just the principals, you know, next steps, their goals, and all of that. So I guess with the other, without the other trustees having that piece of information, I guess we won't be able to discuss on what is the pleasure of the majority of the board. So I guess I'll wait until the other trustees get the information, because I thought that we were going to receive that after NWA, and then the board was going to sit down and talk to staff, just like we did last spring, I believe. So I'm not sure how we're going to handle that. Are we still doing that, or are we just going to receive the report for our information, President Seibert? And then if we have questions, come to the staff. I just wanted to know what the pleasure of the board was going to be, but without having that information, it's kind of going to be a little hard right now, probably.
We can make sure everyone has all the information they need. That's not a problem. We'll make sure that happens ASAP.
Then you want the board to have a discussion on it afterwards? After everybody gets it and reads it?
So I guess I kind of have, we had a presentation in the springtime, right? So just on the progress of, as far as the student body meeting their best growth targets.
Kind of, you just want to have a report of a summary of the progress in the springtime.
Well, we had a presentation in the
More in
springtime,
depth
right?
on it, is what you're saying?
Just like we just, yes, so ideally, right after each NWA rendering, we'd like to have a presentation on the results, the benchmarks.
So what we were asking, and we've been asking already for a while, is in the NWA report, the last one we had in the spring, the test was done in September, conference is done already, they already had the SAP. So now it's the report with that data. So we could compare it where we left off last spring. I know, say a third grader was a third grader last year. Now he's a fourth grader at Belinda. How is he doing now? And then in the winter, we'll find out if he's doing better. And that way, for myself, I would like to see that data. And I asked Superintendent before in private discussion, is that my concern is when we shut down back in COVID, our TK and our kinder kids are the ones that are now fifth and sixth graders are going to soon be middle school students. To me, what I've seen in the data in the last year or two, they're the ones that have been suffering the most in math and some of the reading. And the thing is, I want to see how they're performing. I know that they lose some of their education during the summer. We do have the LOP, which helps them keep some engagement, at least keep their mind going in some other direction, but at least keeps it going instead of just being slacked off during all summer, to see how some of these programs are working. The engagement, again, I'm very happy with the LOP, but it's just, I would like to see that data. I don't need a big presentation, just show me the data.
So I've got a question on, we have a lot of more absenteeism now in the last couple of years. Is that right, Superintendent Lyle?
It is, yes.
So maybe if you bring up that information, can you pull those kids out that are absent all the time?
I don't know that it's as easy to do as it sounds like it probably should be, especially with as many as students as there are. But we could certainly present that parallel. One of the things I would, I'm going to go back and we're going to consult the board calendar that we put together. And we've been trying to stick to that board calendar. And so we'll go back and consult it. If maybe we've missed something. I don't think we have, but we'll make sure that you get that information in the newsletter so you can see what we're seeing. And so we're all on the same schedule. And if we're not on the same schedule, we'll get on the same schedule as quickly as we can.
Yeah. So the reason why I'm asking that question is our kids may be doing a lot better than we think, but the kids that are absent all the time might be pulling everything down and not giving us a real look at what our staff is doing. So think about that.
Okay.
Okay. Item 15, advanced planning. Next regular board meeting is November 18th. I think Trustee Mendoza will be running that meeting. And item number 16, adjournment. It is 8:37 p.m. and I adjourn this meeting. Thank you for attending the board meeting tonight. Good night.